Hello everyone. Namaste. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Seeing you after a long time. I took a complete 1 month break. I visited my hometown and it was a nice vacation. So I think after 14th February, after that, all those heart-shaped our beautiful Zentangle tiles, we are seeing each other, and today we are going to draw this beautiful Zendala. We are going to use 4 different Zentangle pattern in that. We are going to tangle taiga, verb, onomato and striping. And I welcome you all of you here in the chat. Poonam, Teja and Kaustubh, Sashi. Hello everyone. So for the supplies, we need a 6" by 6" square paper, a ruler, pencil, eraser, 1 compass and 1 black marker pen. I'm going to use Micron 08 marker pen, and with the support of this, if you have the thicker and the thinner tip also, that will really help in this pattern. Otherwise just 1 pen will be enough for this one. So as you know, this is our mandala. So mandala and Zendala, they all start from the center point. So first thing first, we need to find out the center of our paper. As you know, this is a 6" square paper. So we are going to find out the center. To find that out, we are going to point out at every 3" on all 4 sides. Get a mark at 3" on all 4 sides. And then join them.
So there's a question, can we know the thickness of the paper?
Yes. So I'm here using this 300 series artist tile. So the thickness is 100 lb here. These are the pre-cut 6" by 6" square tile, and these are 270 gram or the 100 lb, whatever works best for you.
And what number pens are we using today?
So the basic pen we are going to use 08 micron pen, this one, but it is great if we have the thinner and the thicker tip also, but the main use is this pen. If you just have this pen, then also it's enough, but I'm going to use some places thinner tip and thick tip too as we move forward. So we just divided our paper into four same sections, and we found out our center of the page. Now we are going to divide it into 8 equal parts. So for the diagonal lines, join your ruler from corner to corner and from the center obviously, and draw the line. Keep your lines very light. I'm drawing them little darker so that you guys can see it in the video. Otherwise it would be impossible for you guys to see if I draw very light. But for you, I would suggest you guys to draw light so that you can erase it easily later on, because eventually they are just the guidelines and we are going to erase them.
So we have a question that says, what is the difference between a mandala and a Zendala?
Yes, so mandala is a very traditional art form, and in that one we generally use our, those small petal, big petal humps, and then lots of our traditional designs, circles and all that stuff. But in the Zendala, we mix the Zentangle pattern, all the tangles, but our basis is the mandala. Like, we start from the center and we grow, organically in all around in the circular way. So that's how mandala turns into Zendala when it meets to the Zentangle, all the tangle patterns. That's what I think. So now we need just two marking. One is at from the center, 2.5 inches outer marking and 1 inches inner marking. So we just got two markings, 1 inches and 1.5 inches from the center. You can mark that on any side, that's fine, because eventually we are going to use our this compass to make the circle. If you don't have compass, you have to mark these on every single line, so it's your choice. Now I'm going to draw one 1 inch circle. I already have marking and I'm drawing it very light. Draw it light, okay? And the bigger one, I'm not drawing it completely, I'm just drawing it broken, because eventually we are just getting it for the guidelines. We don't really need it as the whole. I kept it very light, kept my hand very light and just dot little dashed circle on the corner. If you want, you can get the whole circle, that is not the problem. The only thing is we need to erase it, that's it. So yay, we are done with the marking, that's all. Now, so Teja, dot mandala is when we made mandala with lots of dots. If I can show you something from here, like something like that. So this is like the dot mandala. So we use the acrylic paint and the dotting tools for that. And then we made that dot mandala with that. So now let's start. I'm grabbing my Micron 08 pen and we are going to first work in this center section of our Zendala. Now look carefully after drawing these lines. The tiger, we are going to draw the tiger's tangle pattern in that one. Please look carefully first, don't draw, and if you want you can draw it with the pencil first and then you can trace it with the pen. One line curvy and then triangle, then other curvy, then triangle. So that's how we are going to draw in between every of these triangular pies. Just take care of the section every time, like it's going to the left hand side, so now this one will go to the right hand side. So if you want, I can show you it in a little bigger way how it goes on just this paper. So like if this is our section, so how it goes: first left and then triangle, then right, then triangle. I'm just making it a bigger way so that you got the idea. That's how it goes. We have these triangular ones. We are starting with the little tiny, little bigger and then bigger, and we keep changing the direction. So Teja, measurement is, this is 1 inch circle and this is 2.5 inch. that is the only measurement. First divide your paper into 8 equal sections and then draw 2 guideline circles. One is at the 1 inch and the other one is at the 2.5 inch. Draw slowly, take your time, take care of the direction, because every time the direction of these tiger drawing is changing. This is not a Zentangle original tangle. This tangle is given by Thomas Padros, the tiger tangle. Zentangle original tangles are the tangle which are given by the Zentangle headquarters. But a lot of other CZTs create their own tangle, like I created my own tangle last Valentine Valentine kind of all these Zentangle tiles. That was my first tangle I created. And now this one, this side. So when you create your own tangle so others can use that, you just publish it online on social media and anyone can use them. But whenever you use any other CZT's tangle, it's always nice to give credit to them, whoever discovered it. So I hope everyone is done till here. Please write down in the chat. I'm waiting for everyone to catch up till here. I kept my pen here. Please write down in the chat when you guys are done till here, and then we will move forward for the next step after this. Yes, Kanak, thank you. Everyone, please write down either 1 and 2 also. If you are drawing along with me, please write down 1. If you are just watching the video and enjoying watching the drawing, please write down 2, so that I know whoever is drawing with me. So just write down 1 and 2, and please write down done if you are done at this level. Thank you, Kanak. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Mitu, Karen. Thank you, Rebecca. After this, as you see, when these are kind of, coming into these bracket shape, we are just going to join them over our these circle lines like this. After that, you can use the same pen, but if you have the thinner tip pen, I would suggest you to change to the thinner tip pen, like I am changing it to the 01. And now we are going to do the outline of these all lines. So like as you see, it's going keep rotating your paper. So in the top one, we outline this way, then we are going to do these inner sections, then again outer section, then again inner section. So we'll give these aura lines alternatively. Take your time. Try to maintain the distance. This is a beautiful pattern. And the best part in all these pattern drawing that you can twist them, and you can little bit change them based on your pattern or the shape or the design. There is no hard and fast rule to draw exactly the way they have described. That is just the suggestion for you. You can use them the way you want and make them on their own. Keep rotating your paper so that you get perfect angle to draw these aura lines to these petal shape pattern. This is a easy pattern, but it needs little focus, so that's why uh, we keep it in a little easy to moderate kind of tangles, so it requires little more focus. After that, here I'm drawing one tiny circle, and here I'm drawing one little big circle, which we will convert into triangles. If you want, you can keep them circle, it's your choice. So I just put these dots or the circles as the markings, and now I actually want to convert them into triangles like this. This is your choice how you want to keep them, or if you want to draw the heart shape, you can draw the heart shape. If you want to draw the arrow shape, you can put the arrow shape. So you can choose your own variants. Here you go. And now with my 08 pen, we are going to work in these 4 sections, and we already have our these circle lines which we are going to trace. That's why these guidelines are so important. And with this thinner one, I'm just going to make this double line, and I'm going to make these beautiful hatchings in these double line rings. Now in these 4 leaves, if we want, we can just make the triangles like that. If we want, we can make the circles or any other shape. I'm just going to draw the triangles again. So I'm just marking on into the center position, kind of where is the maximum spaces. So first marking with the dots. And after getting all these 8 dots, now I'm going to turn them into the triangles. So the whole pattern will look so pretty and complete. Ta-da! We are done with one tangle, and that is tiger. It seems like screen is stuck, or it's working. Okay. So this is a beautiful tiger pattern, and now we will move forward and we will start working on these outer petals. So for the outer petals, first I would like you guys to grab the pencil. Oh, connection lost. I'm sorry guys, just give me a minute. Sorry guys, there was some glitch in the Wi-Fi, and we are back now. So as you see, we are done with the tiger pattern. And now we are going to work in these petals outside. So please look carefully. I'm using my graphite pencil, and starting from the any one point, we are going to start from this base and we are going to reach to all the way to the top of, to the other side of the line, to the right hand side. So as you see, it's going kind of, petal shape like this. And we are going to repeat this on the every side like this. It is absolutely fine if your petal shape is not looking exactly like mine, just go freehand and draw whatever shape you get. Try to draw them all similar, but if they are all not similar, it's absolutely okay. After this, here we are going to come little, round shape to the other side. So you might find that your all petals are not looking absolutely similar. That's absolutely fine. Let them be little big or small. That is the fun with the hand-drawn Zendala or mandala. Now I'm waiting for everybody to catch up till here. Please write down in the chat when you guys are done till here. Hi Manjula. You have made each and every drawing. Awesome, Shashi. Awesome, Kaustubh. Awesome, me too. Now we are going to just trace our these petals. If you think you need to fix any petal, if you feel like one petal is really looking very thin or thick, if you want to fix, you can easily fix because we are working with the pencil first. That's why we are working with the pencil, so that you can erase and fix wherever you want. I just fix directly with my pen wherever I feel I should give a little bit more bump or a little bit more curve to the line. And after this, we are going to trace the other side of the petal. Keep rotating your paper. Don't keep your hand over your work. Always try to keep it at the side to keep your work neat and clean. It is really important not to keep your hand over your work. Okay. Now I'm grabbing my eraser and erasing all these extra lines. Just make sure before you use eraser that your pen is absolutely dried. I'm just erasing all these petal lines.
9:59 a.m. It's time to stand up and stretch. Let's take a break for 10 minutes.
Oh my, this
Simply Safe is already armed.
Sorry for that thing, guys. Some automation at my home. Just make sure before you erase that your pen is absolutely dried, otherwise it might smudge. Don't erase those dotted circles, we might need that, so just leave it. And as you see, when we clean up our this Zendala, we see it with a very different perspective and it looks much prettier. Okay. So I think we are done now for these petals. Now let's start working. I can see some pencil here. There you go. Awesome. Now we'll start working inside these petals, and as you know, this is the pattern drawing, so we keep repeating the same thing in all the petals. So first, let's start with the one thing. We are going to use the pattern, this onomato, in the center of all these patterns. If you want, you can first draw it with the pencil, no problem, and then you can retrace it with the pen. So kind of in between the center of these petals, we are going to divide it with the thin from the both side and the thick from the center. And we are going to draw two lines. The outer line is the parallel, like the very thin one. That's how we are going to draw. And then we are going to draw the circle. In the center. Leaf shape. And you know, in between here spaces, we are just going to draw the little dark dots. We are not going to fill everything, just the dark dots, that's it, wherever we see the space. And then you can use the same pen, but I would prefer to use the thinner pen for these outer both aura lines to make these tiny circles. They look so jewelish, like it looks like there's a jewelry kind of piece. Beautiful. So this is a complete tangle, which is called this onomato. We have done it in my previous videos. And we'll complete this once we'll do these shading at the last. So first we are going to complete this design in all the petals. And you know, I'm going to draw all the circles also with this thin one. Instead of the thick one in rest of all the 7 petals. Take your time, draw slow. There are lots of these orbs. So you can draw with the thick pen and you can draw with the thin pen. That's not the problem. You can choose whatever pen you have and you can decide accordingly. Draw the big leaf in the center and then the aura line. So I'm going to do this one leaf drawing with the 08 pen in all the leaves first, in all the petals first, and then I'll draw all the circles together. And once you guys are done drawing this whole pattern, don't forget to share it with me. You can share it on my Discord, you can share it on my Facebook or any social media. You can share anywhere. Don't forget to tag me so that I can see your work. And if you have not subscribed my channel, please go ahead and subscribe it so that whenever I go live, you will not miss the video or any update or any live session. And subscribing the YouTube channel is absolutely free for you, but it will help me growing my channel, right? So you can help me growing my channel. Now with the thinner tip pen, I'm drawing all these orbs connecting with each other as well as connecting with top and the bottom line. Starting with the widest center position so that you know the widest circle, and then you can keep continuing at the both side. That is the best way of drawing the orbs in this onomato tangle pattern. After drawing this, we will draw these little dark orbs, tiny dark orbs surrounded by these bigger circles, and then we'll just move to the next leaf. Shading is left. Shading we'll do together at the last once we are done drawing all the tangles. Pattern drawing is very meditative because you keep on repeating the same thing. Once you know what to draw, how to draw, you keep on repeating the same thing again and again and again. And while drawing, you reach to that stage that is pretty much similar to the meditative stage because you are focusing at the one thing and you are not thinking of anything else. And once you are done with your drawing, you feel that relaxation and that very good feeling like you have done meditation. That's what I feel. That's why I think that everyone who is doing these kind of pattern drawing feels the same. Hey Manaswini, how are you? Seeing you after a long time. She was my graphite art class student when she was in USA.
Um, I think it's the brother's ID. They are asking
Hmm?
what is the name of these pencils, as I have done this type of drawing for the first time.
Pencils.
Yeah, pen pencils. I think that's what they
So
mean.
pen, if you're talking about the pen costume, these are the Micron Pigma pen and the brand is Sakura.
Yeah, it's Vedanshi actually.
Okay, Vidanshi. So these are the Micron Pigma pen. They all are the Sakura brand. They are the Japanese pen, which I am using. Black marker pen. You can get the link of all the supplies. You can get the link of all the supplies, whichever I'm using, in the event or the description of this video. Or if you don't get it, you can get it at my Discord in the material list channel, and you can talk with me at the Discord later after the session. If you want to ask any question about any material, you can ask me. You can chat with me there in the Discord or maybe at my Facebook page. You can get all the Amazon links of all the materials, whichever I'm using. I think I must have put them in the description of this video. Thank you, Teja. Saranya, this is absolutely the same thing we are repeating again and again. So don't worry, you keep drawing as much as you can. And you can draw like these kind of petals everywhere, and then you keep start filling them. And if you can't complete all of them with me, you can just leave them and catch them, fill them up later after the session, because it's absolutely same and repeating in the same thing. So there's nothing new. Okay, Aditi. Then we will draw these tiny dark orbs. That's it. Oops, I forgot to draw these tiny dark orbs in this one. Sometimes when you keep on talking, you forgot some steps. Now this is my last petal for this Onomato design, which we are doing right now. then the tiny ones. Take your time, draw slowly, don't hurry up. And now I'm done with this onomato and I'm waiting for a few seconds for all of you to catch up. No problem, take your time. I hope everyone is enjoying drawing along. Thank you. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm just trying. Scampoli, if I'm right, from Italy. No, peas are not my own design, Aditi. This is Zentangle original pattern, and the name is Onomato if you're talking about that. So I just turned them into the peas, like make them tiny or the thinner from the both side, and but you can make them as like the equal as the band or the the ribbon design. So that's the best part of these tangle pattern, that you can twist them and you can make them on your own style. So this is the inspiration, this is the tangle which I'm using. This is the Zentangle original tangle onomato, but I turned and twisted it, like made it thinner from the both side so that it fits very well into the petals. Okay, now we are going to do the next part, that is the striping. So this is the striping pattern, like we make stripes into our any petal shape or any other shape. This is again the Zentangle original pattern. So for the striping, you know, in like this rough page I'm just showing you, you can just make two lines and you can make stripes like this and you can fill it. So that is the one way of doing it. And you see, when you make like that, you can make your stripes little thicker, little thinner. At some places you can decide. If you have any this kind of thick pen, you can just use one stroke and you can make this stripe like this. So if you have that chiseled tip shape, you can use that. Otherwise you can use your this normal 08 pen. It's absolutely your choice, whatever you want to use. So I'm here using this little chisel ship tape and pen, and then you see in this pen also I cannot complete it all the way to other side, like I'm just stopping here. Rest I'm going to complete it, like the corners I have to fill it with the thinner pen because this thick pen will not go all the way. So the finishing, the final finishing I'll give with this pen, but this chisel chip tape, this chisel tip pen will help me in giving these, straight stripes easily and quickly. And then I'm just making the lines, all the stripes, and after the stripes I'm going to fix them or fill the edges with the thinner pen. So that's how you see it becomes so quick. But we can do the same thing with the normal pen, drawing the two lines and filling them. That's what I just showed you on this rough paper before I started this. just on the one side of the petal, guys. Don't do on the both side. Okay, in this pattern we are just doing this on the one side. Right now they all are looking not good because they all are not clean from the edges. That's what I'm going to do right now. Make the edges neat and clean, and make this line double so that it looks much reinforced. So this is striping, guys, and striping has various variations. We did it in our earlier Zentangle session. As you can see in this tiny tile, they all are the striping. Different variations you can see here. These kind of chisel tip pens are really very good when we have a wider area, so that you have the the whole area to play with, and then you can make those straight lines. With these kind of thin lines, you really need to fix the edges because you cannot reach all the way to the corners with the chisel tip pen if you keep them into the particular angle. And we are done with our all 8 petals. How is it looking? So Aditi, you can call it a mandala because we are starting from the center and we are growing in the circular manner. No problem. But we call them Zendala because we are using some tangle patterns in that. So that's why we are not using our traditional mandala patterns, which are the humps and the balls and the like the spirals, or like the small petals. So if we use them, then that will be the mandala. Otherwise, if we are using the tangle patterns, which have the proper name, proper style of drawing them, step by step, one stroke at a time, so then we call them Zendala. Otherwise, they both are pretty much similar. Shall I start the next pattern, guys? What do you say? Shall I start the next pattern or not? Are you guys all done till here? Hello, Tanya. Okay, Kaustubh, I'm waiting for a minute. Thank you. Hmm. Okay, Vidanshi. Thank you, Scampoli. Thank you, Mitu. Marty. Okay. So I'm waiting for 30 more seconds and then we'll start our next tangle. And the name of the next tangle is Verb. And Verb is again a tangle which is not a Zentangle original tangle. That tangle is given by JJ La Barbara, and she and um, that person is also the CZT. We are going to draw the verb in between all these petals 8 times, and I have given a little twist to that verb just to mix it with my whole pattern and bring it together. So I think let's start. So as you think, we drew these tiny circles, little dash here just to get this little idea. So if you want, you can use your pencil for your first verb. Otherwise, you can directly start with the pen, no problem. I'm starting with this. So I already have this line here. So I'm going to draw one circle just with my eye in between these two petals. It's absolutely fine if it is little up and down or the left and right. Just go by with your eye, and we already drew this, circular line little bit to stay on that edge. And after drawing this circle, the next step is, look carefully, here we'll go inside. Like this little curvy line here, and here will go outside like this. And we keep on drawing. So I drew 4 lines at one side rather, because there is no outside or inside in this, and 4 lines to the other side. So this is the basic style of verb, and you keep them growing based on the space, based on your design, whatever you feel like. And I'm drawing one more line, 5th line. After the 5th line, I'm drawing the 6th line, and I'm leaving a little space. And then again one more line. So that's how I'm just completing it, and in this bigger space I'm going to draw the circles. And let me draw the circles with the tiny pen. We can use the same thick pen also, that is also not a problem, but as I have used the tiny pen in the other one, so just to give the similarity and to bring that onomato design into this verb pattern. So this is a small tangulation kind of thing. We are mixing 2 tangles together. And making our own design in that way. This is our verb which we are going to draw. What do you mean by the last line? Like the 7th line, you can skip that. It's absolutely fine. No problem. You can make this line little thicker and then you are good. Now again, I'm going to repeat the same thing 7 more times. So first draw the circle in between these 2 petals, then the inner line little curvy, and outer this side touching to the edge. It's absolutely fine if you have little thin space. You can just draw 3 lines and then make the bigger line for the circles. If you have more space, you can make, you know, more lines. You can change it the way you want. So I just drew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this side. But sometimes if you need to draw less, if you think you have not much space, you can draw less lines. There is no hard and fast rule to draw the same lines every single time. And you know, when you give the shading to this whole pattern, it will look really very different. I'm not drawing the circle as of now. Circle I will draw later in all together. So keep in repeating the same thing again and again. Once we are done with all the tangles, I'll write down after the shading and everything, I'll write down the name of all the tangles. If you want to write down the tangle names, I'll write down on the paper so that you guys can copy it if you want the names. Here you go. First the line to the petal, then line to the outside. Okay, let's see. Whoever is here with me from the beginning, what is the name of the pattern which we did in this center area? Let's see if you remember. Me too, I'm drawing the same thing again and again 7 times so you can see it. Let's see if any one of you remember the name of this center tangle. Tiger pattern. Okay, you are pretty close, but it's not tiger pattern. But you are pretty close. No one else remember the name? Triangle pattern. Okay, so you guys are pretty close that the name of that pattern in the center part is the taiga, Taiga, taiga pattern. So you remember something, but the name is absolutely abstract, so I know it's a little difficult to remember the abstract name. I'm going to write it down at the end of this session. So tomorrow at the same time, we are just meeting for half an hour, and we are going to do a quick, line drawing. All those beautiful, we have made our spiral art. So that's a quick, refreshing kind of the artwork. We just need half an hour for that. We'll do on a 6 inch by 6 inch square paper. That's a spiral art. So you can join me same time tomorrow for the spiral art with a 6 inch square paper and a black pen. That's it. So there are various ways of drawing this. You can draw one line on the both side, or first you complete at one side and then you can start drawing to the other side. Depends. I'm on the eighth verb, and then I will complete the circles inside these verb. That is the design which I added in this one. That is not the verb design, but I added the twist to the verb to make this design more cohesive and bring it together. So in this one, as you see, I'm drawing one line at both sides. Here you go. And after this, let me just pull it a little bit up. And in this one, now I will draw all the circles. So I'm changing my pen and taking this 01. Draw as many circles as can fit in this wider band of the verb, which is not actually the part of the verb pattern, but we twisted it in that way. I hope you like that new style of the verb. So whenever you are drawing these kind of onomato orbs, so try to touch them on the top line, bottom line, as well as to the side circle, so that They bring that beautiful, bling kind of style in your whole pattern. Try to avoid them, like, separate them, put them together. If you want, you can add colors in different kind of tangles, like you can add different colors in the tiger in the center, different colors for all the petals, maybe for the verb. So it's absolutely your choice how you want to add your own element into it. And I would love to see if you add anything else to this pattern, or you can just keep it as classic like the way I'm drawing. And don't forget to share it with me. I would love to see your final work. And after this, the main important thing of any kind of pattern drawing, that is the shading. Shading is the thing, shading is the step which brings life to our whole pattern and completes it actually. So for the shading, you can use any graphite pencil. If you have any school pencil, 2HB pencil, you are absolutely fine. If you have the Zentangle pencil, that is basically a 2HB pencil, that is good. If you have any graphite pencil, 3B, 4B, 5B, or in the darker value pencil, or if you have the darkest one, the ebony pencil, it's absolutely your choice how you want to put or lay down the graphite, how dark or light you want. You can choose accordingly. Ta-da! We are done with all the 8 petals. And now in the center of these verb, I'm just going to fill them with one circle and leave some area dark, bright, and then fill the rest of the area. We'll leave some sparkle. If you have white jelly roll pen, you can add the sparkle later with the white jelly roll pen. That's also absolutely fine. If you want, you can leave them right now because we are working on the white paper. So that's the positive part of the using the white paper, that you can just leave the space and that will work as a sparkle for you. But if you are working on a tan paper or any darker color paper, then you have to use the the white jelly roll pen for the sparkle. Okay, so now I'm seeing a lot of these pencil lines which I'm just erasing right now. As we are done with the drawing, and now it's the time for the shading, and that's the most important part of any pattern drawing because that will complete our pattern. If you want, you can add color pencils right now with the graphite pencil, to add more elements in these videos, I just use the graphite pencil and trying to keep it classic and the original way they are. How is it looking? It seems like it's stuck again. My video, let me just cast it again. Oops. Cast का ही नहीं रहा. Sorry guys. So now I'm starting the shading, and I'm starting with these Onomato, these little tiny orbs, and just laying down the graphite at the one side of them, very tiny. I'm using 3B pencil. You can use any pencil, that's absolutely fine. Now in these our tiger design, you see here inside I'm just lay down little tiny graphite to the both side here. Both side in the corner on all those 4 petals which are enclosed one, inside corner, and here in this outer petal inside. So wherever the curve is, you can decide your shading based on the curve. It becomes so suggestive. Wherever these curves are coming, you can make your shading accordingly, and it brings, another dimension to your work, as you can see here. Keep doing these kind of shading, and you can choose your own style of shading, that's absolutely fine. And instead of the shading, if you want to use any red color, green color of your own choice, that is also absolutely okay. It's your artwork, you can choose the way you want to finish it. These are the final finishings, but these final finishings are really very important. Don't leave them, otherwise your work will look little incomplete after doing all that hard work. So that's how the tiger is looking. Look, isn't it looking much different? Just make sure the corners are pretty much blended and filled, no white spaces showing up. Yes. And now I'm using my pencil and I'm giving shading to these petals inside these onomato, both side as well as to these striping side, and you can see me shading, right? Just blend very lightly to these onomato, and that's how your one petal will look. And look at the difference between this one petal and the other petals. That's how we are going to complete our all the petals. Lay down the graphite alongside with these onomato design. Both side, the empty side as well as to these striping side. And I'm laying down the graphite in all the petals, and then I'll blend them together. That's how I can, speed up the process. So I'm laying down the graphite. I already laid down the graphite in these, onomato, all the circles. And after that, we'll work on the verbs. And it seemed like we are going to fill these areas. We are going to work on that verb part after the shading of these petals. We are going to use a little bit more pen. So tomorrow we are going to do the spiral art, and next Saturday again we are going to do one beautiful Zendala with different other tangles. So Zendala is around 1.5 hour-ish time, and spiral art is around half an hour time. So I'm done laying down the graphite in all the 8 petals. Now I'm blending them. Take your time. Go slow. So, you see this area, we are going to fill that with the pen. Will come that part soon. You can use whatever blending tool you have. You can use that tool. Q-tip, tortillon, blending stump, tissue paper. Just try avoid using your finger. Rest all tools are fine. Look at the difference in the half. All four petals are done with the shading and four are not done. So you can decide how it changes and how you want to go about it. Oops, I forgot to lay down the graphite in this one. This is a little big project and a lot of work in this one. A lot of tiny like details, and these tiny details makes it, so pretty and beautiful. So it takes a little extra time, and I keep forgetting to laying down the graphite, guys.
Do you seal your work so the graphite will not smear?
Yes, I use the sealant, and if I keep it open, if I'm keeping it in the zip pouch or in the bag, in the seal bag, then there is no requirement for doing that. But if you're keeping it open, then if you think it's rubbing to any paper or anything, then it's always advisable to use the spray fixative, or whatever kind of fixative you have, you can use that. Okay, so now I'm just using my 08 pan, and as you see this,
The time is 10:59 a.m.
leftover area here, I'm just filling that.
Setting simply safe to home.
So I'm just filling this part with my black pen. I just forgot to do this earlier, but now while the shading, I decided to do that. To fill these negative spaces is really, bring bounce to your whole work. It pops the other part. Awesome. And now the shading on these Verb. So first I'm going to do shading. So it's absolutely your choice how you want to go about it. First I'm going to do shading where these inner part is, showing up in these Verb. I'm laying down the graphite. I really want to be quick. It's 11. I can understand. It's time to wrap up. That's it. And then shading. And while shading one this verb, as you see, we have these lot of graphite in our this tortillon. So I'm just going to lay down this graphite, like little bit like this, to give it a little swirl, you see. So first lay down graphite, which bring dimension to your this verb, and then give this swirl. This is the soft blending we call, like that. These soft blendings are very magical. They bring that very soft wave to your pattern. So look carefully how I'm doing. I'm repeating it again and again. I'm just doing this swirl line with my these used tortillon, which is already having a lot of graphite, and I'm giving these soft blending to bring that swirl. And that soft blending brings a beautiful dimension to your pattern. So that's why I say these blending, the shading part is equally important, the drawing part. And here you go, we are done now. So after this, the last part is to keep your work in your hand and to praise your work that you did this awesome job. And don't forget to sign your work with your chalk. So for the chalk, you just write down your initials in a beautiful way. I'm writing here Nidhi, Prakash, NP, and joining them with beautiful this heart shape. You can make your chalk on your own style, and you can write down your signature, today's date. What is today's date, Ajay?
27th March.
27th March 2020, and I did it on YouTube live. If you want, you can write down Nidhi Prakash Arts or whatever you feel like. And if you want to write down the pet tangles which we have used, one is tiger, one we used verb, one we used onomato, and the other one we use striping. That's all. And here is our this beautiful Zendala. I hope you like it, guys. You can share your work with me at any social media. Don't forget to tag me. You can share your work at my Facebook page, at my Discord. You can join the Discord. It's absolutely free. You can share your this work and all other your artwork and talk with me, discuss with me about your work. See you tomorrow in the spiral art session and the next week in the Zendala session. Okay guys, bye.